All right. Hi, everybody. Anyone's here? Hi, guys. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone's having a good Monday. I never really have Mondays off, so it's good to be off today. So, I never go live like the day after. Hi, bipolar sharks. How you doing? Um, and so I never go live after, or like the day after I make a live, because like I'm not Katie and I don't like hearing myself talk, and I'm not obsessed with streaming. I'm bad at streaming, all that stuff. So, but last night she had a little bit of that wine. Except this is water. It's actually water because I don't lie about what I drink. It's actually water. Um, so last night she had a little bit of that wine and she started her bullshit with the mentally disabled community again. I'm gonna be taking like 5 deep breaths every day today. Or like throughout my life today. And again, for those of you who weren't here the other day, I made the comparison to a league of their own, the end of A League of Their Own, where Tom Hanks is talking to Madonna and he's telling her that she's still missing the cutoff man, the relay man, and he's like shaking when he talks to her. Like, that's me when KJ messes with the mentally ill community. I can't. So I do that a lot too. So KJ went on a Twitter rampage, and of course they're all deleted now, where I have the tweets right here because the internet does not forget anything. And it's never gone. Let's see. Okay. Do audio. Alright. So, I have the tweets right here. Let's zoom in a little. So, right off the bat, she starts with mental health, a thread. And you're like, oh shit, really? And then she goes, and again, like it goes back to my first live when I was talking about how like she starts, like she doesn't even get off to a good start. Like she just right off the bat, she starts digging the grave immediately when she starts talking. So it's like at least make yourself look a little decent before you dig the grave, but I guess not. All right. So she says the idea that we can't use mental illness as an quote excuse is a toxic to me. All right. So I'm gonna need to talk about that for a minute. Hi, Radiohead. Okay. How often, like in my first live, I was doing it. I was saying like, oh, my physical disabilities make me drool a bit or my eye tears. I'm guilty of using my illnesses as an excuse too. I think we all are, but like for basic things. And my Asperger's has I have been guilty of using my Asperger's to like excuse my bluntness or excuse whatever bad thing I did. But my Asperger's or my physical disabilities have never made me do the shit she's done. And I can give examples, but we already know all the examples. And like, my Asperger's has never made me dox anyone. It's never made me put my child's medical records on blast. I don't even have a child. But if I did, I wouldn't do that. It's never caused me to ignore a request from a viewer or a sub to stop chewing. I mean, I don't chew on camera. The things she does are not basic things that you can just say, oh, sorry, I have ADHD or whatever she claims she has. And I think she has ADHD. We haven't had proof that she doesn't yet, so I'm gonna say she has ADHD. The things she does are too big and too shitty to use a mental illness as an excuse. Like, you can only do that like for basic stuff. Like, oh, sorry, my Asperger's makes me blunt, or my physical disability makes me drool. Like, not for. I mean, you're literally getting sued, and you want to use your disability as an excuse. That's not. No. Like, what I always think of now when she does that, in the first Bring It On, when the football team loses and they're walking off the field, and the football player makes fun of the cheerleader, and the cheerleader's like, dude, you just lost. That's like, I believe she has it too, Wade. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. And then that's like KJ. KJ talks about, oh, like, I'm better than everyone, and like Wesley Bass is a liar and all this stuff. And then it's like, dude, you're getting sued. I mean, you've hit the bottom of the barrel. It shaking. Oh, okay. So let's go back to the tweets. I know it's painful. All right. I have ADHD, anxiety, and PTSD. My mental illness is an explanation for a lot of my behavior. What's behavior? Like, she's not clear what it is that she's excusing. Medication doesn't fix mental illness. It helps, but it's not a cure. Was she just right about something? Like what? I don't really. Bipolar said it. I don't think she realizes she's at the bottom of it yet. Yeah, she doesn't. And that's what's so astounding to me. And I said this on the Discord too, but it's like, it's so funny to me because, like, I mean, having Asperger's, you have to pound things into us, like, before we get it, But eventually I get it. I mean, it takes an entire ass meltdown, but I eventually get it. With her, it's like she's getting the shoe. Excuse me. Hello. With her, it's like she's getting sued. The entire internet hates her. There's a million videos calling her out. There's even like a video. It might not have been truthful, but there was a video that T-Spiracy or someone made about, her home life, and it's like, but at that point, like if all of that happened to me, I'd be like, okay, this is reality. This is what's happening. But she does not get it. I'm not totally familiar with ADHD, but like Raid has it, so maybe Raid. Oh, sorry, Raid, but maybe you can enlighten us a teeny bit. But that does not register. Like, it's so confusing to me. And then Reed said that too. I worry that even if she does, or once she is there, she just won't care. Yeah. I mean, I again, it's just like, does she not get it? Like, it's so confusing to me. As someone who's also mentally ill, it's confusing to me. But alas, let's keep reading. When someone like, and then here's the next crock of bullshit. When someone like me with ADHD and PTSD is under a lot of stress. Oh, by the way, can you guys see this okay? Let me know. I'm reading them, but I just want to know if you guys can see them. Okay, here's what Reed says. There are impulse control issues, oversharing, etc., but her issues cannot be blamed on her ADHD alone. She needs to take accountability. Exactly. Yes, Reed, I agree. Alright, can you guys see this? Oh yeah, I just saw it. Well, I'll zoom in a little bit. And maybe too much. There we go. Alright. Yep, you can see it. Okay, good. Alright, so when someone like me with ADHD and PTSD is under a lot of stress, we can react impulsively out of fear, anxiety, and rejection. Whoa, time out. Alright. So, you dox people because you feel rejected? That's like me saying because I have Aspergers, I go out and punch the first thing I see because I'm alone and I'm rejected. What? I don't know. What's this? So, what is, oh, gotta share it. Hold on. Hate that I have to do this every time. Alright. Okay. But we had to. Okay, but that's like saying though that because I have autism, Asperger's, I get scared, so like I run out and burn down a building. Like that doesn't make sense. And I hate to make the school shooters comparison, but this is the same thing people do with school shooters. I mean, they're like, oh, he was mentally ill. And it's like, well, mental illness doesn't make you shoot up a school. I've never shot up a school. I mean, there could be underlying factors why he or that person shot up the school, but and that could be mental illness could be a reason, but it's not the full explanation. So yeah, and I hate to make that comparison because it's such a hot button topic, but like this is the same exact thing like that people who excuse school shooters do. All right. Many of us are constantly rejected because of our illness. Okay, I mean, that's true. But again, I'm not running out and burning down the building. People become impatient and disappointed because we keep making the same mistakes. Also true, but the reason people are impatient with you, Katie, and disappointed in you is because you've done harmful things to not only the disabled community, but also to a lot of other creators, including Crypto Art and threatening to sue Augie and all of them. That's why people are impatient with you and disappointed with you. I'm impatient with you because it's like you don't get it, and you keep blaming it on your shittiness on your disability and your mental illness, but it's not you. And and when she says she has PTSD, I know it's because of her SA, I believe, but again, even war veterans like PTSD, they'll do I've heard stories where veterans with PTSD. I'm not a veteran myself. I can't speak for all veterans, but I've heard stories where some veterans will wake up in the middle of the night and bite their significant other's finger or something because they've had them triggered by memory. People, they don't dox people or send police to a pregnant woman's home, or they don't do things like that. They have bad memories, yes, and nightmares and flashbacks, but they do not do the shitty things that you do. How's chat looking, yo? Alright. Alright, let's move on. Instead of shaming people with mental illness, which you do on a daily basis by making us look like shit, I believe we need to offer compassion to those struggling. Okay. Alright. How do I put this? I'm Catholic, right? I believe we have to show compassion to those too, but to those in need too, but struggling too, but you make it so hard for people to feel sorry for you because you keep pulling the same shit over and over again. And when you keep pulling the same shit over and over again, people don't want to feel compassion towards you. Alright. Alright. Next sentence of bullshit. We need to stop saying it's not an excuse because it is a valid explanation for our behavior. No, it's not. There is power and freedom in acceptance and the stigma. Okay, bitch. How the fuck Dear she. I have a lot of issues with Katie. I've talked about them in 2 videos. But one of the biggest things I hate is when she hashtags movements that she thinks she's a part of, but she's really co-opting it to explain away her shittiness. Like here, and the stigma. There's no stigma against you, bitch. There's a stigma against you only in the sense that we're all sick of you making our community look horrible, and we're all tired of you and want you gone. Not God isn't dead. We don't want you to die, but we want you gone, as in we want you to get some therapy, some help, an enema, something. Like, I really do hate that. And she did the other thing, did that, and well, she didn't hashtag it, but she did it the other day when she took Emily D. Baker's clip out of context with, Breonna Taylor. And your husband called someone an N-word, allegedly. And he has a white supremacist record label, or he had one. She latches herself onto these movements that she's not a part of and that she's wronged in the past in order to get people to feel like her better. I don't know her end game, and I bipolar search. I was looking for anything. I was throwing out words, but it's even if it's not my movement, disability movement, it's one of the most awful things she does to me. And yeah, shut up. All right. Okay, back to Sharon. All right. What does that even mean? There's power and freedom and acceptance. Why do we want to accept you? Why should we accept you? Dumbass. Alright, I don't care about Trisha Paytas or Ethan and Gila, but I don't believe that it's not motivated by her own issues. Bullshit. Yeah, it is. Because if it wasn't, why didn't you talk about yourself in the first two tweets? You were talking about it. You were talking about yourself. That means it's about you. It's what I keep asking this. What's the education system like in Minnesota? Because holy hell, this girl's dumb as rocks. They must have some shit schools up there. I mean, come on. It's basic reading comprehension. Alright. So here she tries to do damage control. And she goes, since there's confusion, an explanation is not an excuse. But you just said it was. Of course, we're responsible for our own actions. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. If computers didn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, this one was like 600, but if computers didn't cost hundreds of dollars, I would grab my computer and shake it right now. Because holy shit, Holy shit! Like, are you kidding me? Like, oh my god, I have to share my screen again. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, you just said that we're responsible for our actions and need to take responsibility when we mess up. You're not doing that! Holy shit! Ah! Oh my lord. Okay. Relax. Deep breath. Alright. God, I'm still like. Why can she tell other people to do this, but she can't do it herself? It's like. It reminds me of my right ear. Like, everything's there, it just doesn't work. It's like her brain, it's like everything's there. And it's like, they always say brains are like computers, so it's like, if, like everything's there, it just doesn't work. And I get that's what mental illness is, but at some point, it's like you're saying all the things you need to say and all the things people want to hear, but you're not acting on them yourself. So it's like, what's wrong here? And it's not just mental illness, it's something else. I'm telling you guys, people like this are not good for autistic people like me, because it's just like we need things pretty much handed to us on the silver platter, and when we don't get that, it's like, or when people are hard to figure out like her, it's like, I don't know. And then, well, okay, and then she says, but sometimes understanding the why can be helpful. I mean, okay, again, to an extent, hi, Glancy Life, hi, Daniel, because she is a mod. She's cool, unlike KJ. Alright, let's see what bipolar site says. Everyone else is the problem. She said if people are mean to you, it's because they have their own issues. At what point does she realize she is the common denominator? Ding, ding, ding! Congrats, bipolar sharks. Here's your new car. It's a 2020 Maserati, or a 2021. So yeah, it's like, so okay, understanding the why. Okay, that can be helpful to an extent. I mean, like, again, it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. Like, to an extent, like, why do I obsess over things? Why do I don't know? Why do I drool sometimes? Why does my eye tear sometimes look like I'm crying? That's where a good explanation for the why comes in. When you're fucking doxing people and like sending police to a pregnant woman's home because you don't like the way she's giving birth. Hi, Violet Witch. That's not and that's not a time to use an explanation for the why. At that point, you're just a shitty human being. I mean, mental illness or not, you're just a scumbag of a human being. I need to take, again, I gotta take like a bunch of deep breaths because it's like, I can't. And of course she does this the day after I say I'm not gonna be in 100% Katie channel. Of course. Of course. Of course. And then, so some lovely individual on the Reddit Discord found a bunch of these found a video from last August of 2019 where she, in all her infinite wisdom, is like, you know what? You guys are all a little on the spectrum. I'm like, did this bitch really? What? So, we're gonna look at them, and I don't know. May God be with us. Alright. This is the first one. Someone actually found it in screen caps, so we don't actually have to hear her voice, which is like kind of nice. So we can see here the caption. Okay, you know what? You know what? I can't. You know what I love about this community is you next. Is you guys are all a little bit like on the spectrum. Okay. So that's like saying when people are like, oh, we're all a little racist. It's okay. Like, what the? No, it's not. But saying, oh, you guys are all a little on the spectrum, like, not only hurts us, the community, but also hurts another people. No one wants to be told they're disabled. I mean, not even we want to be told we're disabled. We wear it with pride, yeah, but we don't want to be told, oh, you're disabled. Like, that's what kind of and she says it like it's a compliment too. It's like, oh, you guys are so autistic. I'm like, okay, Redditor, like, gamer moment, KJ gamer moment. No wonder her son spent $1,000 on video games. He's a gamer. Alright. So, and then she says, well, like me, because I hate chewing and I hate listening to people slurp. I hate all of that kind of stuff. So I will never eat with you guys, period, point blank. And it's like, well, it's like, well, but you did that to Caroline. You did that to Caroline. No. But and then like fast forward a year later, she snaps at an autistic woman and tells her that, I'm gonna eat M&Ms, hashtag First Amendment, bruh. I don't know. But like, okay. And then she tried to follow up the Caroline thing with, oh, I didn't know she was autistic, or they didn't tell me. Yeah, okay. And I hate when she's not neurotypical, but I hate when neurotypicals do that or say that, or like, how was I supposed to know? Because I mean, it's like some sort of gotcha. Like, okay, like, is this still on? Like, oh, like technically, yes, you're right. You didn't know, but I didn't see Caroline's comment. I didn't watch her video. I would die before that happened. KJ's video, not Caroline's. I would die before that ever happened. But I believe she said, like, hey, I have autism and that truly bothers me. Or she may not have said autism, but she shouldn't have to. You shouldn't, if someone's, neurotypicals do it all the time. If something's bothering you, they ask you to stop. Well, neurotypicals do it to each other all the time. They ask each other to stop when things are bothering them. Why is this situation any different? It's like KJ. Mars, the company that makes M&Ms, is a multi-million-dollar company. I promise you, they will still be making M&Ms by the time your video is done. So you can feel free to eat M&Ms all you want after the video's done. They'll still be there. But someone has asked you to stop, so you need to listen to your subscriber and stop. You're providing, again, and I said this in another video, you're providing a service to subs. And if we operate on the customer is always right, then the subs are always right. So it's like you need to listen when subs tell you things. Because that's how you get better as a creator. And I know I'm a small creator, so I don't really have any place to lecture people on that, but I know that if you guys ask me to stop doing something, I'll stop doing it. Because, like, I listen to you guys. Alright. Oh, boy. Violet Weds, why? Why do you prefer KJ eating M&M's on camera? There's that, not eating. Okay. I was gonna say, girl. There's that gif of her, like, when she did that Instagram live eating M&M's or something, and her mouth raises and, she even chews irritatingly. I can't. So, my purpose in making this video was, again, like I said, if KJ keeps fucking up with the communities I'm in, I'm gonna keep going live and calling her out. Because I don't think she should be able to get away with this at all. And I think she'll eventually have to stop. I think Taco and Tati, I call her Taco because Taco, and I'm not into makeup YouTubers, so I call him Taco. Taco and James are gonna stop her with the lawsuit. She'll eventually have to. And on that day, we'll all be raised up in heaven. It'll be very nice. So, the point in making this video was I'm gonna keep calling her out. Yes, Raiderette. For me, it was the blatant disregard for Caroline's request. Yes, and yes, 100%. And it's like, again, you're providing a service to your subscribers. As creators, that's what we're doing. And if you don't provide that service, people are going to leave. Right? It's like if Burger King stopped serving the chicken fries, I wouldn't stop going to Burger King because I love Burger King. But if Burger King stopped serving the chicken fries, if I had a choice between Burger King and Carl's Jr., I would be like, yeah, let's go to Carl's Jr. That bacon Western burger is to die for there. So it's like if you stop providing the service, people aren't gonna keep going back to you. It's YouTube 101. I don't know, and she keeps trying to lecture people about YouTube TOS and things like that. I don't get why it's so hard for her to enact those same principles herself. The other day, when she took the 10-second clip of Emily out of context, it's when the same thing's done to you, you bitch about it too. So she has a very rules for thee but not for me attitude, and that's, I don't like people like that. They suck. They suck. And so when mental illness is not to be used as an excuse, and again, going back to the school shooter thing, I mean, there's people that are always like, oh, well, he was mentally ill. And I'm like, well, I'm fucking mentally ill. I don't shoot up schools. I'm not saying KJ would ever do that, but she's doxing people. She's, being rude to subscribers. She's getting drunk out of her mind and going on live and insulting Leslie Bass and, I'm saying I'm not going to apologize because I'm awesome. And it's like, at what point does your mental illness not explain why you're like this? Because you're not meant like this because of ADHD. You're not like this because of PTSD. You're not like this because of anxiety. You're like this because you're an asshole. And so that's probably one of the biggest issues we face in the community is in the, disabled community is people blaming, mental illness for doing these awful things. KJ has an ego trip. Exactly, Violet. Yep. I know I'm the oddball, but I don't. It's like, I sometimes say I'm OCD about stuff, even though I'm not OCD. I shouldn't, but I do. I'm working on correcting that behavior, though. KJ probably does that constantly. And that's another problem. It's a less severe problem, but the biggest problem we face is when people blaming mental illness for awful crimes they commit. And I can't deal with it anymore. Like, that's why I started this channel. Well, I had this channel, but I hadn't used it in years. That's why I started doing this, because it's like she's hurting the autistic community or disabled community. She's hurting sometimes the religious community too. Oh, and thank you, Violet Witch. I'm pretty. I know I'm like KJ. I only put positive comments on the screen, but yay. Yeah, no, I meant an eyeball, and that I found I say I know it's like not kosher to do that. I meant I'm an oddball, and that it's not kosher to say, oh, I'm OCD, everything's all over the place, I need to organize. That's I don't. I'm working on correcting that behavior, but I'm an oddball in the sense that I don't find it like egregiously offensive as some people do. Now, when it's used with anxiety, when people are like, oh my god, I'm so nervous, I have anxiety, like, that's a little more severe. But yeah, but I know it's still a problem, and I know I'm working on that behavior. And Asperger's too. Asperger's is like when things are out of order or not lined up or whatever. Like, oh my god, like at work, when I go out and push the carriages back to the grocery store, and all the carriages are, because no one else gives a fuck about their job, and like the carriages are all over the place. I'm like, oh my god, this is awful. I have to like neatly arrange them. It's so stupid because there's a guy that does them perfectly in the early mornings, but then everyone else goes out on carriage duty and fucks them all up. So, and I gotta pick up the pieces because no one else cares. They do their jobs at least. So main takeaways from this video are, KJ, you need to stop blaming mental illness for your behavior. So, and if you can, the more she tweets, because she's gonna do it again, the more she tweets, the more I'm gonna, call it out. So, yeah. And I don't know. It's like she's in a weird possession, I guess. Like the way she just keeps spiraling. It's like she's in a weird deep sleep, and she can't wake up and face reality. I don't know. She's just a weird person, and I don't know. I'm glad Unirot dumped her, but I don't know how long that's gonna last. I heard he was calling her out last night, so KJ's aggravating to me. Yep, same. We need to chill out. Who wants to watch a funny GTA video? Let's watch a funny GTA video. And I'll remember to do copyright this time. So let us... There we go. Alright. We're gonna go on YouTube. There's one he did, where it's like bowling, or like, because a joke in GTA 4 is that Roman constantly calls you to go bowling. Although I don't know why he does, because, or why that's a joke, because whenever he calls me, he always wants to go drinking. I don't know. Um, but more recently, he's been calling me to go bowling. Alright, YouTube, let's go. Oh well, we may not be able to if this doesn't load. Oh well. Alright, I'll just end it. Alright, so main takeaways are KJ, mental health is maybe a reason why you do something, but it's not something you can blame your illness on or blame the shitty things you do on. It's not a joke. It's not tea to blame your shortcomings on speaking of what's Violet, I hope YouTube. Oh yay, it worked. I wanted to play. There is an episode. Violet says she likes cartoons, so let's see. If YouTube loads, yay. Alright, so there's an episode of Futurama where it's like Saturday morning cartoons, and one of the shows that they parody is Scooby Doo, and George Takei is actually in the episode, so he's like the Kabuki ghost or whatever, or dragon ghost or whatever. At the end of the episode, there, you know how in Scooby Doo there's that big reveal they do, where you know, when they reveal the villain and stuff like that. It's just like someone comes up with a reason why he did it, and then George goes, "Oh, that's not why I did it," and the person's like, "Oh, why did you do it?" And he goes, "I'm mentally ill," and it just reminded me of KJ. So let's hear it. It's only 5 seconds. Can you please load? It's almost there.
I'm mentally ill.
Yeah. That reminded me a lot of that's like what KJ's doing, kind of, right? Like she's like blaming everything on mental illness. So so that was my main. That was the main takeaways from this video are mental illness is not an excuse for your actions. It can be an explanation, but it is not the full explanation. Yeah, once you branch into criminal or generic shitty person territory, you're just a horrible person at that point. That doesn't mean your mental illnesses go away. It means you're a shitty person. And that overpowers your mental illness. All right. So, oh, it's nice the solar eclipse. Ah, cool. Does that mean anything in paganism or witchcraft, Violet? I know you guys pay attention to those things. So, unless anyone else has anything to say, we'll end it here. And, alright. I don't know what my next video should be. Maybe I'll wait till KJ fucks up again. So, I will see you guys later. And I should do a Christmas video, but I don't know what. But I will see you later. And thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. And I will see you guys later. Also, hey, we finally had a successful stream with no buffering. What? And all it took was KJ blaming her mental illness for things. Oh, my phone's ringing. I gotta go, guys.